tell you so. Blue Nation Network, shining bright and clear, keeping our community close, bringing you cheer. From the action on the field to the news in town, we're the ones who keep you, never let you down. Local heroes on the rise, shining like a star. When it comes to staying informed, we raise the bar. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know.
Hey guys, Billy Blake here with the Watermelon Donuts in hand as we're coming at you live from DuBois Area High School as we got the Brookville Aerie taking on the St. Mary's Lady Dutch. And this is the 2A District Finals dorm as Brookville swept Red back in what I thought was three really good matches. Brookville just overpowered in that third to come from behind against the real good Lady Bulldogs team. And then on the other side of the court, St. Mary's, Brockway took St. Mary's in 5 at St. Mary's. And that one came down, best of 15. It was, I think, like 15-7, 15-8. Like, somebody's listening out there, you're more than welcome to correct me. But a couple of pretty lopsided matches in that one. The one, I think it might have been the fourth set. St. Mary's was up 2-1, and then Brockway come back and won like 25-7 or something like that. So,
yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, I looked at the records of both these teams, and Brookville in the regular season is, don't quote me on this, folks, but they're something like 10-4, and I believe St. Mary's is maybe like 8-6. So they pretty much have pretty identical records. They didn't all play the same teams up north at St. Mary's as we did down here in the KSAC, Brookville. But some of the teams were the same. So this should be a pretty exciting match here, and everything's on the line here, Billy, tonight, and this is a championship game.
Yeah, it's should be exciting. Got a pretty nice picture. Just looking at here, make sure anybody out there in YouTube land can comment on how we send me a text and make sure we're good. But yeah, extra. So after this, it's the single way. It's Clarion taking on County
ECC, yeah.
ECC, Elk County Christian, County Catholic. I think it's Elk County Catholic, I think.
Right, yeah.
But they came back, and they were there at the first of the year. It was going to be Seattle, maybe Seattle Keystone.
That's
after
right.
the KSAC round, and ECC beat Keystone.
Yeah,
So,
that was something. You never know what's going to happen on these courts here, but I look for Brookville to have a good game here tonight, and hopefully they can bring home this championship for Brookville. It's been a long time, Billy. It's been a long time.
yeah, I think this is from my home inside sources. But 2019 and 2003, I believe, is what is told today, are the only district volleyball championships. So this is big stuff here for Brookville athletics and Brookville, especially Brookville women's athletics. I've said often, I think this is the girls' time to shine. There's starting with this senior class, clean down to the 7th grade. There's some good female athletes.
Absolutely.
We're going to see a lot of good things happening. I was talking to Justin Gardner on the way out Congratulations. She started as a freshman starter on the soccer team, and congratulate her on a good season. And I think it may went back to 2003 again with the last time they had that kind of record on the soccer field. So,
well, all the Brookville teams except possibly, unfortunately, football didn't have a very good year. But other than that, soccer,
track, you got boys and girls cross country.
Golf had a fantastic season.
Yep, it's first we had the whole team and playing in the district round, and that'd been a while. 5 kids playing instead of usually 1 or 2.
Right. Yeah.
So boys soccer had a good year. We're getting ready for winter sports here. Very young wrestling team. Coach Klepfer. Going to be a lot about a lot of individuals this year and how they progress. A lot of freshmen and sophomores going to be on the squad that a couple of years are going to be back to state ranked. Coach Matt Wright has a pretty strong boys basketball team. Unfortunately, one of our studs out with an injury. We can't name any names, but the big team, like Big Ike and some other men and the rest of the boys, they'll bring it. They really started a good program, and then most of the girls' basketball team, as you're seeing tonight on the volleyball floor.
Yeah, a lot of these girls move from one sport to the next, and if that's what they want to do, that's fine. And it does keep them in shape from one sport to the other. And you can learn a little bit about all sports by playing different sports.
Girls will pick up Katie Coder in the basketball court, Allie Wilson. 2 girls that played soccer this year are really good basketball players. And then pool. We can't forget about the pool.
Can't forget about that.
Brookville the last couple of years with some district titles there, boys and girls, and trying to get some stuff posted, maybe come up and catch a couple of events. I can't sit in the pool for 2 hours. I'd have to go in flip flops and just leave it at that.
Yeah, a lot of humidity in
But I just want to put it out there for you guys following along. We can't be at everything.
Good evening, ladies.
Really like for you guys to send any pictures and updates, video clips, and Blue Nation Network. We'll make sure that gets posted on the Facebook page. Trisha does really good clips. If you've seen some of her cross-country clips she does on YouTube and on Instagram. So, the kids are eating Instagram side up. So.
Yeah, send them Blue Nation Network at gmail.com or just message her maybe on Facebook, whatever you need to do. And I'm sure she'll be more than happy to get anything you have about Brookville sports or anything else.
Brookville sports, it can be something about the musical camp. If you got a scholar in your house, make sure any kind of achievements at Brookville High School. So, as we're going to get ready for the national anthem here.
First round match will be played on Tuesday, November 4th. Immediately following the match, we'll have a presentation of the runner-up medals and championship medals and the championship plaque. Would you now please stand? Honor America.
All right. We're going to get your national anthem.
at the gymnasium here, Billy. Last time I was here, I was probably wearing the zebra stripe, officiating volleyball, which was a few years back.
Good. Man, she did volleyball.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I enjoyed it while I did volleyball. And I would encourage anyone out there, especially you younger folks, to take your tests for volleyball or softball or whatever sport you want to do. That would be fine. And I'm sure that they could use you in all these high school sporting events.
I see your downstairs.
Right now, yeah, we go. Right now, we're getting the introductions to the Lady Dutch as they're coming onto the court.
And now,
All right. Number 3 is Samantha Whitling.
Number 26, I see here, Gabby West.
Number 26, Gabby West.
Number 22, I see here, Corinne Sire.
Number 22, Corinne Sire.
Number 15, junior, Whitney Cruz.
Number 15, Whitney
Number
Q.
9, junior, Emma Norby.
And number 9,
Number 11,
Emma Norby.
Aubrey Belfour.
Number 11, Aubrey Belfiore.
Number 23, junior, Lyle Lilly.
Number 23, Lily Plyler.
And number 17, freshman, Palin Linderman.
And number 17, Palin Lindeman.
Your official coach tonight, referees, Scott Kaufman and Ken Moore. Line judges.
All righty. We got,
Well, we have 4 officials on the court, as we did in Brookville. They have the one official who's on the ladder. The other official is the down official who takes care of all the substitutions for both teams coming in and out. And then you have an official on each side of the court that judges whether the ball is in or out the whole way down.
down the line. Actually got 2 officials keeping score tonight, too, Dawn.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal there. I imagine those 2 officials keeping score would probably be in the second game, I would assume.
Hey, let's give a big shout out to a couple sponsors here: Heather Castellan, XP Realty, Devil's Barbecue.
Uh-oh. We got a sound problem. We're going to get that.
Yeah, we'll get it
Hopefully
fixed here.
taken care of.
Okay.
Too low? Huh? Okay.
All right. Devil's Barbecue, Mac Metals, Brookville Chamber of Commerce, K&P Supply, Wilson's Woodshed, Laurel Eye Clinic, and Ace Hardware as we get ready for the first round here. And that's going to be number 21, Addison Beimel checking in, Dawn.
And number 6, Molly Hansloven will be serving for the St. Mary's Flying Dutch. And we're about ready to get this contest underway. Here, Billy, the ball is up.
Going to go to Belfiore, to Whitling, to Northey. It's going to be number 4 to 6, 17. That's number 17, Taylor Van Elstein.
Yeah.
She's the 6-foot middle hitter.
Yeah, first points going to St. Mary's, 1-0 St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the home team in this first contest.
Youth to Whitling. Whitling to Northey.
St. Mary's wants to send it over. Little dunk
Belfiore.
shot. Oh, into the net, and that's a point for St. Mary's.
Yes, St. Mary's up to a quick 2-0 lead, kind of like the World Series last night.
Oh,
2
wow.
bangers, right? First 3 pitches, 2 home runs.
Yeah, that was something else. Here's the serve. Brookville handles it. Going to set it up. And back over to St. Mary's. Back over to Brookville. Brookville. Oh, and they kept it alive.
Brookville's got a
And that's a point for St. Mary's. I thought for a while there that was going to fall to the floor, but it didn't make it, Billy.
Yep.
3-0. Favorite St. Mary's. The ball's up.
It's Belfield to Whitling. Whitling with the set. Northey.
And back over to St. Mary's. Back, and that's going to be another point for St. Mary's. It is 4-0.
It's Taylor, number 16, Taylor Tornati. All you St. Mary's fans out there, if I butchered, sorry. Again, all time with the.
And Brookville again, they're going to, that one I think was going out.
Yeah.
Went off of the St. Mary's player, so that's the first point for Brookville.
Take it 4-1, Brookville, St. Mary's.
Okay, so Brookville has the serve here. Halen Lindenboot back for the serve. The ball's up. That is out. And that's a point for St. Mary's. 5-1. Favor of St. Mary's. 5-1. And here's St. Mary's on the serve. Number 10, Carrie Schaefer. The ball is up. Brookville plays it. And back over. That's going to be long. And that's another point for St. Mary's. It is 5-1 early in this first contest. And let's see, what do we got here? Well, I guess for some reason we got a point on that. Brookville has to serve. So we got the officials are talking. They're getting something straight at the scorer's table. Number 3, Samantha Whitling, serving for Brookville. Ball's up.
A nice serve by Whitling there, John.
Hey, we're making progress now. It's 5-3, Billy. 5-3. Here comes Brookville. Let's see if they can come back now. Ball's up. St. Mary's plays it. Wants to set it up. Back to Brookville, and that's going to be a point for St. Mary's. That one went up, hit the ceiling, and when it was coming back down, Brookville tried to play it, but it went out of bounds. So that, unfortunately, was a bad mistake for Brookville. Number 21 on the serve for St. Mary's. Brookville setting it up, pushing it over. Little dunk shot. St. Mary's bringing it back over to Brookville. Brookville. And that's a point for St. Mary's. For Brookville. It is 6-4 favor of St. Mary's. So Brookville down by 2. Emma Northey on the serve. St. Mary's plays it, sending it back over. That drops in. That's a point for St. Mary's. It is 7-4. 7-4. Favor of St. Mary's. Number 16 on the serve, St. Mary's.
All right, that's going to go Whitling to Belfield, Belfield to Hughes, and that's going to go out. So that's going to make it 7-5. The Lady Dutch here.
The Lady Dutch up by 2. Brookville has the serve. And we believe this is Lily Plyler on the serve.
Yep.
St. Mary's.
It'll be
Back to Brookville.
Belfield's going to set it up for Goose. Going to push it over the mat.
And
Goose. Whitling to Goose.
into the net. Bad break for Brookville. It's 8-5 favor of St. Mary. 8-5. Brookville off to kind of a slow start here, Billy. And we've got number 4, Allison Mertz, back for St. Mary's on the serve. The ball's up. Brookville plays it, setting it up. Nice block to the net by St. Mary's. They push it over to St. Mary's. Brookville looking to set it up. Here we go. Oh, into the net.
Yeah,
Another point for St. Mary's.
Yep.
9-5.
Gonna play to 5. Gonna win by 25 here. So this is number 4. This is Allison Mertz with the serve. It's gonna go to Northey to Belfier. Belfier's gonna set it back row up to Northey. It's gonna be 16 for Naughty.
And
that was number 6, Van
Molly
Slavin.
Yeah, Molly and Sloven.
And Slavin.
Yeah, he pushes it into the net, and that's a point for Brookville. It's 9-6.
All right, Darby Belfier with the serve here.
And St. Mary's shot over to Brookville. Brookville wants to set it up. Oh,
yeah, that one went yard.
Yeah, too much gas on that one, that's for sure. It is 10-6. Favor of St. Mary's. Number 13 on the serve. Brookville, little push.
Into the net there.
Into the net. That's a point for Brookville. And it is 10-7.
Whitney Goose with the serve here.
And St. Mary's wants to set it up. Back over to Brookville. Back to
Belfier to
Brookville.
Whitling. Northey. Nice little soft touch there at the net.
St. Mary's had 2 players thinking about playing the ball. What happened was neither one played it.
Yep, that was Hans Sloven and Schaefer. Goose with the serve.
There's a ball that just got caught up in the net. That's a point for St. Mary's.
Yep.
It's 11-8.
All right, number 6, Hans Sloven with the serve here. It's going to go Goose. Wetling to Northey with the kill.
That's a point for Brookville. It's 11-9. We are within 2. Palin Lindemuth back to serve for Brookville. And the ball is up.
Nice serve by.
And that one goes off the block, and that's a point for St. Mary's.
Yep, number 17, Taylor Van Alstein for the Lady Dutch with the kill.
Carrie Schaefer back to serve for St. Mary's. The ball is up.
Belfier going to go to Whitling to Northey.
Nice shot there. Uh-oh.
That was a push.
That was a push. So it's 13-9, favor of St. Mary's. We have number 10 yet on the serve, Carrie Schaefer. The ball is up.
Belfier to Whitling with the set.
And they get the push. And that's a point for Brookville. It's 13-10.
Brookville's got the student section in them both of them here. Must be Jersey night.
Who we got back here? Emma Northey?
This is Emma Northey with. Sorry, no, this is Samantha Whitling.
Okay. And St. Mary's plays it back to Brookville. Brookville.
Goose to Whitling to Belfier.
Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up. Back to Brookville.
Nice. Emma Northey with the kill.
Nice play there. It's 13-11. Brookville within 2. Once again, we played at 25. You must win by 2.
Nope, Whitling with the serve. We'll set up for Northey.
St. Mary's.
Oh, nice there. Lily Plyler.
13-12. Brookville within 1.
Samantha Whitling with the serve again.
And St. Mary's plays it, setting it up. Back over to Brookville. Back to St. Mary's. And that's going to be off the Brookville player. And that's going to be a point for St. Mary's. It's 14-12.
Got Big O Fleming in the house tonight. He doesn't have to do the big shout out to them and our anonymous donors.
And number 21 on the serve for St. Mary's. St. Mary's wanting to set this thing up. A little push blocked by Brookville. St. Mary's back to Brookville.
Wetling setting up Northey.
And St. Mary's sends it back over.
Wetling.
And into the net. That's a point for St. Mary's.
They're making 15-12 St. Mary's right now. They've got Addison Beimel for St. Mary's on the serve, the libero.
And here's the serve. Brookville.
Northey to Wetling. Wetling over to Belfier.
Back to
set it up here. Nice save by Samantha Wetling.
Oh, into the net by Brookville. That's a point for St. Mary's at 16-12. And here's the serve.
Beimel still at the serve. Youth.
Push
Northey.
back over.
Lindemuth to Wetling to Northey.
And into the net. That's a point for St. Mary's, 17-12.
All righty, Coach Householder's going to call a quick timeout. We're going to listen to one of our sponsors.
If you're looking for a bigger house,
I know someone. Or if you need to downsize, I know someone.
maybe you want to move to the country.
I know someone. Or maybe you want to move in town. I know someone.
I'm Heather Castellan, now with eXp Realty. Whatever your real estate needs are, I have you covered. You can check out all of the area's listings at exprealty.com or call me at 715-4103.
I know someone.
Mac Metals. What's our mission? We strive to be a leader in the metal manufacture and steel industry. By investing in those closest to us, our employees and our customers, we aim to build lifelong partnerships while impacting the community around us. Family owned and operated since 1989. That's Mac Metals. Located by BWP Bat Factory, exit 86, I-80.
All right, going back at it here. That was Heather Castellan, Realtor, and Mac Metal Sales of Brookville. As we got Addison Beimel, number 21.
And Brookville down by 17-12. Brookville plays the ball. And let's see, they need to push it over. They do to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set this thing up. That's long.
Right yard. That was number 13, Max Katsky.
17-13, favor St. Mary's. Brookville with the serve.
Emma Northey with the serve.
St. Mary's
Set it up to 13.
into the net. It's a point for Brookville. 17-14.
Brookville needs to get the run here on.
25 isn't that far away. Here's a serve. St. Mary's setting it. Back to Brookville. That ball's in. It's a point for St. Mary's.
Yeah, this is a district game. I don't think you can let those close ones slip by.
Yeah, 18-14. That was just inside the line, the back line. No one there to play it. 18-14. Here's St. Mary's on the serve. Brookville. Little push. St. Mary's. And it's going to be a point for Brookville. It's 18-15.
It seems like we've been doing three of the whole set here as Gabby West is going to check in for Payroll and Lindemuth.
Yeah, we need to take the lead here. See what we can do. St. Mary's looking to play it at the net. Nice block by Brookville. St. Mary's going to try it again. And that one goes high to the ceiling. Brookville push back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Brookville needs to set it up. Here we go. Back to St. Mary's. Good volley this time.
Real good volley. Whitland Northey from the back row.
Over to St. Mary's. And that's going to be up the player, and that's going to be a point for St. Mary's. It is 19-15, favor of St. Mary's.
All right, this is going to be number 4, Allison Mertz for the Lady Dutch.
And the ball is up. Brookville playing it, setting it up.
But good the net.
St. Mary's handles it.
Fine.
And just a little dirt shot that win, Billy. 20-15, favor of St. Mary's. Allison Mertz back once again. And the ball is up. And back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's playing it, wants to set it up. And it's another point for St. Mary's. It's 21-15, favor of St. Mary's. 21-15. The ball is up.
Mertz with the serve. That's going to
out.
go out. Good job by Samantha Whitling there.
Good eye on that one. 21-16. Getting a little bit too close here, Billy. We need to make a run here.
Yep. All right, Belfier.
And the ball's up.
Serve.
St. Mary's. Back to Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's. And
come on,
that's going to be off of Brookville. That's going to be a point for St. Mary's. 22-16. 22-16.
All right, this is going to be number 13. This is going to be Caskey. She's going to get it over to Northey.
Into the net, and that's going to be a point for St. Mary's.
(23-16) here in the first set for the 2A district title, District 9 title.
And that one just over the net. And St. Mary's handles it. Brookville. Oh, a little push. It didn't make it over.
All right, Coach Householder's going to take time out. 24-16, the Lady Dutch here. You're right back.
Hey y'all, this is Mark Bowe. I'm at Devil's Barbecue and this place is awesome. These folks are nice. We came up here the last time and we couldn't get enough of it. I saw a sign. I came 10 miles out of the way because we had to have it again. And all I know is we might not show up to work tomorrow because it's that good. See y'all.
Devil's Barbecue, where it's all about the smoke. Brookville, PA.
You can.
Hey, yeah, that's Devil's Barbecue, 60 Progress Street. Rob Hetrick, Cody, and the gang up there. Just had a pretty good lunch special yesterday. You want to follow them on Facebook. I think they had mozzarella stuffed meatballs with bucatini and garlic bread.
St. Mary's looking to close this one out, 24-16. Let's see what happens there. And
yeah, she goes down the line with it. She's good with that line shot.
20, yeah.
Go ahead, Dawn.
So, excuse me, I was just going to say 24-17. Yeah, she did a great job on that shot there. Brookville on the serve. St. Mary's. And
that was Van Alstyne. As St. Mary's is going to take that first round. Dawn, let's take a break. Hear from a couple more sponsors. We'll be right back.
Ace Fix-It Hardware in Brookville has been the place to get all of your hardware, tools, paint, lumber, and decor right by the bridge in Brookville since, well, like forever. Call 849-7326. Most friendly and knowledgeable staff in the business, too. Ace Fix-It Hardware says.
This is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
17 had 5 digs. 9 had 6 digs. For St. Mary, 17 and 6 each had 4 kills. 6 also had 5 digs. 21 had 4 digs. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Fat Betty's is your place for takeout pizza and ice cream, arcade games, and more. 1 Evans Street, Brookville. Call 849-4925 to order now and come test your skill at Redneck Reno right next to Fat Betty's, Brookville's original gaming hotspot.
In the heart of Brookville where the rivers flow, there's a voice that's calling, let me tell you so. Blue Nation Network, shining bright and clear, keeping our community close, bringing you cheer. From the action on the field to the news in town, we're the ones who keep you, never let you down. Local heroes on the rise, shining like a star. When it comes to staying informed, we raise the bar. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know.
All right, back at it, Don. Good friend Chris Rosé giving us a few stats here. So it was Northey and Goose both with 2 kills in that set. Palin Lindemuth and Samantha Whitling with 5 digs apiece. On the St. Mary's side, it was Van Alstein and Hansloven with 6 kills apiece. Number 6, Van Alstein had 5 digs and 21. Burnham also had 5 digs. And Lindemuth's going to send that one a little longer, Dawn, to start the first one here.
Yeah, we don't want to start off that way, but unfortunately we give the serve to St. Mary's. The ball's up, and Brookville plays it. They're going to try and send it back over. A little push there. St. Mary's going to send it back to Brookville. Brookville wants to set this thing up. Another push. And St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Brookville. And that one's going to fall in. That's a point for Brookville. So just like that, we're all tied up at 1 apiece. Need to take this a little bit early here and run some points up here.
All right, Whitling with the serve. That's going to go to 16. Nice point here.
Oh,
was Northey there. Sorry, Belfield and Plyler.
They must have had their coffee, their wake-up call on the sideline. So far, 2-1 favor Brookville.
Whitling. It's going to go to number 4 to 6. It's going to be 16. You're not Whitling.
And that's going to be a point for St. Mary's. That'd be 4. And we're all tied up at 2 apiece, 2-2.
All right, number 7 for St. Mary's going to check in for number 4, Mertz. That's Nesbitt checking in. Number 10 is going to be Schaefer with the serve to Lindemuth, to Northey.
Sending it over.
Ruth.
And that's going to be a point for Brookville, and Brookville is going to retake the lead. It's 3-2. Favor of your Lady Raiders.
Emma Northey back for the serve here.
And we must cut down on serving into the net or serving long.
Yep.
They're doing a good job so far.
Right.
And St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Brookville setting it up. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up. Oh, there's miscommunication.
Yeah,
a little bit of a miscommunication there. Didn't play that one. It is 4-2 favor of Brookville. 4-2, and the ball's up. Brookville on the serve.
I'll take it.
Wow.
A little short there for Van Alstyne
Yeah.
at the net. So Brookville's going to get a 5-2 here.
5-2. Things have changed around here a little bit. And there's the serve by Brookville.
Good low serve. That's going to go out on Brookville, so that's going to make it 5-3. Looked like it just came off the arm of Belfiore.
And Brookville up by 2. So far, things have been going their way, but let's see what's going to happen here. Ball's up.
Beimel with the serve to Whitling. To
Push.
Plyler.
And St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. St.
Beimel.
Mary's. Back row players playing very good. Back over to St. Mary's. And back to Brookville.
Whitling going to set up.
And into the net. And that's a point for St. Mary's.
Boy, she's struggling with that kill tonight. She'll pull it out for volleyball to go yet. Brookville still up 5-4. Beimel with the serve here.
And the ball is up. Back over to St. Mary's. And back to Brookville. Brookville wants to set it up. Little push. That works.
Play by Lily Plyler.
Yeah, 6-4. Brookville by 2. This is the second net. St. Mary's playing the first one, 25-17. Brookville on the serve. St. Mary's plays it, needs to send it over. Back to Brookville. Brookville, push. That falls in.
Be west of the nice little push shift and doing right in the back corner.
She knew how to push it just the right way, and it fell in there, Billy. 7-4, favor of Brookville by 3. So Brookville with the serve here. The ball's up.
Plyler.
St. Mary's needs to push it over. They do. Back to Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's.
That's going to head out.
And that's going to be a point for Brookville.
That'll make it 8-4. St. Mary's up 1 set. St. Mary's with the timeout. We're going to stick with it, Dawn, here. I'd like to give a shout out to the friends of Blue Nation Network, Jed and Jenny Fiscus, Connie and Lanny Fiscus, Linda Barnes, Stevie and Dominic Morrison, Ben and Molly Nixon, Paz, our Parents and Teachers Helping Students group, Chris and Robin Rhodes and family, and the Friends of Rachel.
And we appreciate each and every one of them for joining us here on Blue Nation Network and supporting these kids.
Yeah, like I said, we're getting ready to head into some winter sports. There's cost to these, and, we've hit to, if you own a business looking to sponsor, get a hold of Ben and Tricia, or just a big wrestling fan or basketball fan and like to help make this possible and bring it to you at home and to, your parents, grandparents, and other relatives or service members around the world, which is kind of neat, Dawn. So.
Oh, absolutely. Anywhere anyone has an internet connection, they can watch.
Right, Plyler with the serve.
Back to
Goose
Brookville.
with the dig. Whitling.
Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up near the net. And that's a point for Brookville into the net. And it's 9-4. They had a good idea there, Billy, but they were into the net on that one. And Brookville on the serve. The ball is up.
Oh.
St. Mary's needs to send it over. They send it back to Brookville. Brookville wants to set this.
Goose.
Push. Back to St. Mary's. And that's a point.
That's 16.
And that's 9-5, favor of Brookville. Number 16 going back. Taylor Gernati.
Gernati with the serve.
And Brookville back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Brookville, it's a little set. Oh, nice block of St. Mary.
Yeah, that was Mavis Caskey.
Yeah, she did a good job defensively on that one.
Right.
9-6, folks.
We're naughty with the serve for St. Mary's here.
And Brookville.
Want to move to Belfiore to Whitling.
Back over to St. Mary. St. Mary's trying to set it up here. Back to Brookville. Push. Back to St. Mary's, rather. And that's a point for St. Mary's. It's 9-7. Favor Brookville. Brookville by 2. And here's the serve. Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's setting it up. And that is out. That is a point for Brookville. 10-7.
Aubrey Belfiore here with the serve.
And here's the serve. St. Mary's. Push back over to Brookville.
One to move. Whitling with the
setting
serve.
up.
Nice save there by Beimel.
Yes.
Northy.
Brookville.
Whitling. Back to Guth.
Back to St. Mary's. They want to set it up. Little push.
Nice into the net.
Into the net. And that's a point for Brookville. 11-7.
We'll take it, Dawn. Belfiore still with the serve here.
And here we go. The ball is up. St. Mary's. Oh, that one just went over the net.
Rolled down halfway down the middle of the net there.
That's a point for St. Mary's. It's 11-8. 11-8. And St. Mary's, number 4 on the serve here. Allison Mertz for St. Mary's.
Yep, Mertz with the serve. It's going to go to Lindemuth to Northy and over to Guth.
St.
Beimel.
And back to Brook. Oh. And that's a point for St. Mary's. And it's 11-9. And here we go. The ball is up. Brookville plays it. Back. Oh, that's a block.
She's a beast at the net, Gernot.
Oh, yeah. She was ready for that one. 11-10. Brookville by 1. And here's the serve.
Yep.
Ball is up.
Going to move.
And back over to St. Mary's. And back to Brookville. Played it off the ceiling. That's legal. And Brookville. Blocked. And that's a point for St. Mary's.
Tied up, huh?
And just like that, we're all tied up at 11 apiece. 11-11. And here we go. The ball is up.
When to move to Whitling. Whitling going to go to Guth.
Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set something up here. Back to Brookville. Push. Back to St. Mary's. Brookville needs to send it over. They do.
Beimel.
And back to Brookville. And Brookville saves it. St. Mary's back over to Brookville. Girls playing hard. Push back over to St. Mary's.
Winner go home, Dawn.
That's right. And Brookville wants to set it up. Push.
Northy.
Into the middle. Here's St. Mary's.
Northy. Whitling. To Guth. Oh, and it goes long.
Yeah, it did. Man, that's a point for St. Mary's. And the first time in this match, St. Mary's takes the lead, Billy. 12-11. And St. Mary's has the serve.
Mertz still with the serve.
Here's the serve.
Go.
And Brookville back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's setting it. And that's the point for St. Mary's. And it's 13-11. And St. Mary's with the serve. The ball is up. Brookville playing it. Push back over to St. Mary's.
With a nice dig there.
Back over to Brookville. Block at the net, and that's a point for St. Mary's. The girls for St. Mary's are really playing some good defense there.
Yes, they are. They're up 14-11. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a bigger house,
I know someone. Or if you need to downsize, I know someone.
maybe you want to move to the country.
I know someone. Or maybe you want to move in town. I know someone.
I'm Heather Castellan, now with eXp Realty. Whatever your real estate needs are, I have you covered. You can check out all of the area's listings at exprealty.com or call me at 715-4103.
All righty, so back at it here, Dawn. Brookville is St. Mary's on a 7-0 run here.
Yeah.
And it's been all Mavis Caskey, the 6-foot sophomore middle hitter, on a tear there for the Lady Dutch.
Well, Brookville took an early lead, and they were up 4 or 5, I think, at one time, and they just let St. Mary's come back into it. So that happens, but St. Mary's with the serve here, and we're ready for action. The ball is up.
Mertz to Lindemuth, Belfier.
And back over.
Going to get it back over, and that's going to fall.
That's a point for Brookville, I should say. 14-12.
And Guth.
St. Mary's up by 2. Brookville with the serve. And St. Mary's playing it, looking to set it up. And that's out. That's a point for Brookville. It's 14-13.
I'm going to have to get down to Wetling Eye and get my eyes checked here. I sure looked in from up here. Goose, and she's going to send it long.
Well, that one was long, though. You saw that.
Yeah, I saw that one.
15-13 favors St. Mary's.
All right, this is going to be number 13, Caskey. Lindemuth.
Brookville.
Try to set it up for Northey.
And they push it back over, but it's out, so that's a point for Brookville.
Good heads up there by Aubrey Belfier.
Yeah, she played that exactly right. It's 15-14, folks. Brookville down by 1. Palin on the serve. St. Mary's. Back to Brookville. Back to St. Mary's. They want to set it up. Little push. Back to Brookville. And back to St. Mary's. Oh, nice block. And
nice.
For Brookville.
That's going to tie it up here, Dawn. We got a dogfight here.
And we are all tied up at 15 apiece. Time for Brookville to take advantage of this and pull away. Here's the serve. Oh, you don't like that. Into the net.
Yep.
And it's 16-15 favor St. Mary's.
Yeah, can't have those service errors. It's all right. Palin's young. It's her first district title game.
St. Mary's on the serve.
Guth to Whitling.
And
it hit the pole there.
Hit the antenna. That's out of bounds if it hits that. So it's 17-15. Brookville is down by 2.
Couple quick errors there by Brookville.
And Brookville sending it back, and that is what? That is a point for Brookville, 17-16. And the captain's coming over and talking to the up official. They're trying to decide whether that was tipped out or whether it was whether it went out on its own or whatever. What's going on?
All right, Samantha Whitling back to the serve here.
So nothing has changed. It's 17-16. Brookville down by 1. St. Mary's. And back over to St. Mary's now. And that's off of Brookville. And it's 18-16. Brookville down by 2. Brookville down by 2. We have number 10 back to serve.
Nesbitt checking in for Mert.
That's okay. Carrie Schaefer on the serve. Brookville wants to set this thing up. Oh, no, just a little push. Good idea. St. Mary's back over to Brookville. That's out. That's a point for Brookville. And it's 18-17.
Evan Northey.
Brookville down by 1. And here's the serve. Ball's up. St. Mary's playing. Wants to set it up. And it. And the point for St. Mary's. It's 19-17.
Like I say, John, I almost got to set up that zone defense.
And here's the serve by St. Mary's. Brookville.
Whitling to Belfield's going to set up for Plyler. Stuff at the net.
Yes.
Guth. Beimel going to set it up for. Boy, she is just having a heck of a game. Mavis Kapsky for the Lady Dutch.
Yeah, that's good defense on their part on that right side there. It's 20-17. St. Mary's up, and here's the serve. Brookville back over to St. Mary's, and oh, wow. That's a point for St. Mary's. And it's 21-17. Favor of St. Mary's.
Beimel with the serve. Going to go Northey to Belfier. Back to Northey. Nice back row there. Nice save.
Up in the ceiling. You could play that. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it.
Boy, she's on fire, Dawn.
Yeah, I mean to tell you, 22-17, and Brookville wants to take a timeout here.
Mac Metals, what's our mission? We strive to be a leader in the metal manufacture and steel industry. By investing in those closest to us, our employees and our customers, we aim to build lifelong partnerships while impacting the community around us. Family owned and operated since 1989. That's Mac Metals. Located by BWP Bat Factory, exit 86, I-80.
Ace Fix-It Hardware in Brookville has been the place to get all of your hardware, tools, paint, lumber, and decor right by the bridge in Brookville since, well, like forever. Call 849-7326. Most friendly and knowledgeable staff in the business, too. Ace Fix-It Hardware says.
This is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Alrighty, back at it, Dawn here. We still got Edson Beimel with the serve. St. Mary's on another run here. Up 22-17, already up one set in this best of 5.
Yeah, if they lose this one, they'll have to do it the hard way, win 3 straight. So let's hope they can come back and take this one. And there's a push back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's over to Brookville.
There we go.
That's out.
Starts 1 point at a time here.
22-18. And here comes Brookville. Let's see if they got some inspiration after the timeout.
Yep, Lily Plyler with the serve here.
And over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up.
Northern with a nice save. Plyler. Whitling going to set it up for Guth.
Yeah.
Nice little touch there. Whitney Guth at the net.
Yeah, nice little push there. And it's 22-19. Brookville struggling and trying to get back into this thing here.
Plyler still with the serve.
And into the net. And I think that's only twice I think I've seen that happen tonight. So
Two in this set here alone.
Yep, 23-19 favors St. Mary's. And here we go. The ball is up. Brookville playing it. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's push back over to Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's setting it. Back to Brookville. And back to St. Mary's.
Nice save there by Fletterman.
They push it back to Brookville. St. Mary's. Oh, they just sent that one out, so that's a point for Brookville. 23-20. Brookville has to do it the hard way here, Billy. We need to get something going here.
Belfier with the serve.
St. Mary's.
Nice.
Oh, nice save by Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. They're trying to set it up. Back to Brookville. Block at the net. And that was a nice defensive play. That's Mavis Caskey for St. Mary's.
Number 4, Allison Mertz checking in here for the serve.
24-20. This is match point. Can they get it here? We're going to find out. The ball is up. Brookville sends it out. 25-20.
All right, so it's going to be the hard way. Best of 3 here, one game at a time as St. Mary's goes up 2-0 here, and we'll be right back.
In the heart of Brookville where the rivers flow, there's a voice that's calling, let me tell you so. Blue Nation Network shining bright and clear, keeping our community close, bringing you cheer. From the action on the field to the news in town, we're the ones who keep you, never let you down. Local heroes on the rise, shining like a star. When it comes to staying informed, we raise the bar. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know. Oh, Blue Nation Network, we've got your back. Sports and stories, it's a rocking track. Tune in and listen, join the lively show. Brookville together, there's so much to know.
Well, welcome back to DuBois, Pennsylvania. This is the match between St. Mary's and Brookville. And right now, St. Mary's is up 2-0 over Brookville. Brookville has to do it the hard way, Billy. Got to win 3 straight if they are going to take the championship here tonight.
Yeah, we got some stats here from Chris Rossetti. That was, and we kept saying, Mavis Caskey, that was all about her. She ended up, excuse me, with 4 blocks, 4 kills.
Whew. Wow.
4 blocks, 9 kills. Number 7, Kanan Nesbitt had 3 kills. And number 16, Gornati, had 5 digs. On the Brookville side, it was Whitling, West, Guth, all had 2 kills. Palin Unamuth with 12 digs. Samantha Whitling with 6 digs, and number 11, that would be Aubrey Belfier with 6 digs also. So, see what happens here, Dawn.
Molly Hansloven back to serve for St. Mary's, excuse me, as we're ready for the third match. And Brookville.
Northey at the net with the kill.
And it's 1-0 in favor of Brookville.
Want to get a couple quick shout outs to Elite Heating and Cooling, Brookville FOE 983, Restorative Medi Spa, Premier Counseling, Advantage Remediation Services. Go ahead, Dawn.
And St. Mary's going to send it back to Brookville. Brookville, there's one up towards the ceiling. Brookville's going to send it over back to St. Mary's. They're looking to set it up. They get it over the net, back to Brookville, back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's, very good team to set up. And that's going to drop in there. That's going to be a point for St. Mary's.
That was Taylor Gordon on the kill there.
We have a score of 1-1.
North Fork Veterinary Clinic, Plyler's Carwash and Laundromat, and Spitzer Chevy, GMC Cadillac, and Subaru.
And we have number 10 back for St. Mary's on a serve. And there's a missed opportunity by Brookville. She just missed the ball, and it's a point for St. Mary's. It is 2-1 favor of St. Mary's. St. Mary's on the serve. Back to Brookville, and that's another point. It is 3-1 favor of St. Mary's here early. We have number 10. This is Karen Schaefer back to serve for St. Mary's.
Good. Nice dig there.
Back over to St. Mary's. And push back to Brookville. Little
Plyler.
in, back over to Brookville.
Northey with the kill.
That's a point for Brookville. It's 3-2 favor of St. Mary's. Brookville needing to capture this game.
Whitling with the serve.
And St. Mary's. Oh, nice
Nice
ball.
block by Plyler and Belfier.
That's a point for Brookville. And we're all tied up at 3 apiece, 3-3. And the ball is up. St. Mary's. That's long. And that's a point for Brookville. And they take the lead 4-3.
Samantha Whitling.
And
the
here's
serve.
the serve.
That's going to go 18. That's going to get set up for 7. Northey.
Back to Brookville.
Nice save by Linda Muth.
Oh, play at the net.
Nice stuff, man. It's number 16, Gordon Noddy.
Yeah, that was a play at the net, and it goes St. Mary's way. It is 4-4. Favor of, well, no, we're all tied up, I should say.
Byman with
there's
the
the
serve.
net.
Well, service there by St. Mary's. Take them away. Get them.
I think that's the first service error I saw by St. Mary's here tonight.
Yeah, I'll set it too.
Right.
Northey serve.
And St. Mary's, nice block at the net by Brookville. St. Mary's.
Booth.
And back, pushing it back over to St. Mary's. And
You cannot let those go like that. But hey, it's easy to say up here.
hell yeah, all right, yeah. Well, we are at 5-5. We're all tied up.
All right, this is going to be 16. Gornati with the serve.
And
Whitling to Belfier, over to Plyler.
back over to St. Mary's. They want to set it as they usually do. Brookville. Back to St. Mary's. Little push. Back to Brookville.
Lily Plyler with the kill at the net.
Oh, nice job there. It's 6-5 favor of Brookville. And here's Brookville on the serve. The ball is up just over the net there, Billy. St. Mary's sends it back to Brookville. Brookville.
Goose going to get it over.
St. Mary's back to Brookville. That's a trouble ball. Brookville handles it, sends it back to St. Mary's. Back over the net, and that's going to drop in for St. Mary's. And we're all tied up. 6 apiece, 6-6. And we have number 4, Allison Mertz. Serving for St. Mary's. And the ball's up. Brookville. Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wanting to set it up. That's out. And it's 7-6, favor of Brookville.
All right, Aubrey Belfier with the serve here.
Brookville on the serve. The ball is up. St. Mary's play at the net, and that drops in for St. Mary's. It is 7-7. So here we go. We're all tied up again. And here's the serve. Brookville plays it. Setting it up. St. Mary's. Back over to Brookville. Brookville. Oh, nice block. Wow, St. Mary's on that. That's a point for St. Mary's.
Taylor Alstein.
And it's 8-7, favor of St. Mary's.
I'd say the height advantage here tonight, Don, has definitely been a factor.
Absolutely.
Youth.
And there's one that falls in for Brookville. And just like that, we're all tied up 8-8.
All right, Caskey's going to check out, and Biamel going to come back in as Youth with the serve here.
And here's the serve. The ball is up. St. Mary's pushing it back to Brookville.
Whitling.
Back
Northy.
to St. Mary's. That's going to drop in for Brookville.
It's going to make it 9-8.
Just about a point or so is always is a difference between us in this game, it seems. And Brookville on the serve. St. Mary's. They need to push it over. They do. Brookville.
Youth. Whitling with the set to Northy.
In the net. And that's a point for St. Mary's. And it is 9-9. And here's the serve. The ball is up. Brookville back over to St. Mary's. Back over to Brookville.
Whitling.
They want to send it back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up. Little push. Back over to St. Mary's. Back over to
Nice
Brookville.
save by Belfier. Lindemuth, the Whitling's going to put it over.
And St. Mary's. Nice shot there, but Brookville handles it. And that's going to be a point for St. Mary's into the net. And it's 10-9, favor of St. Mary's.
Van Slavin with the serve here.
And there's a ball off of a Brookville player on the serve. And it is 11-9, favor of St. Mary's. And here's the serve. Brookville. Push back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's.
Number 17, Gordon. So it was Van Alstein.
Yeah, that was Van Alstein.
With a massive kill there to net for the Lady Dutch.
12-9, favor St. Mary's. And Brookville
Whitling.
sending it back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set this thing up. Back over to Brookville. Back to St. Mary's. They push it over. And that's a point for St. Mary's.
Van Alstyne again up at the net.
And
all right, we're going to get a timeout here.
Get out your
If you're looking for a bigger house,
I know someone. Or if you need to downsize, I know someone.
maybe you want to move to the country.
I know someone. Or maybe you want to move in town. I know someone.
I'm Heather Castellan, now with eXp Realty. Whatever your real estate needs are, I have you covered. You can check out all of the area's listings at exprealty.com or call me at 715-4103.
Here tonight, Dawn.
yeah, and we got the media area filled up here. Nice to see our fellow media folks here. Chris Rossetti's here.
Yeah, we like to thank Chris for giving us a few stats here. We always like partnering up here. The next game's going to be on the river on the radio side if you're a Clarion and Earl County Catholic fan. And then D9 Sports is going to handle that.
Sure, that should be an exciting match also. Be sure to stay tuned for that.
Well, if you're the Wetling and Norley, with the kill at the nets, that's going to make it 13-10, Dawn.
13-10, they've got to come back. They got to do it now. Don't have much choice. So, yeah, we better get things going here. There's St. Mary's back into the net. That's a point for Brookville. And it's 13-11.
Rich Red's always down there for the Democrat and the Courier.
Oh, yeah, you'll read all about it in the paper also.
Yeah, Rich does a fantastic job.
Yes, he does. Here's the serve to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back to Brookville. Back to St. Mary's. Back to Brookville, and that's off of Brookville. That's going to be a point for St. Mary's. 14-11.
All right. Mark's checking out. Nesbitt coming back in. This is going to be number 10. Carrie Schaefer for the Lady Dutch with the serve here.
And the ball's up. Here's Brookville.
Nobody sends that one long.
So it's 15-11 right now. St. Mary's with the serve. Carrie Schaefer is going to serve it up. Brookville playing it. Wants to set it up. Sending it back over. Little push there. St. Mary's. And that's off the block. That's a point for St. Mary's.
Taylor Gordon, she's having a fantastic game here. St. Mary's on another run here, Dawn.
16-11. And the ball is up.
Guth.
Brookville playing it. Setting
Plyler.
it. Back to St. Mary's. Back to Brookville off the ceiling. Back to Brookville. And that's a
nice dig by Beimel.
Yeah, St. Mary's. Brookville.
Nice volley going here.
Push. And that's a point for Brookville. And it's 16-12.
All right, number 18 is going to check in. That's Flutterman for St. Mary's. Samantha Whitling for Brookville with the serve here.
Oh, there's a serve right over the net that works for Brookville.
And
we get the point there. 16-13. And here we go with the serve. The ball is up. St. Mary's plays it. Wants to set it up. Into the net. That's the point for Brookville. And it's 16-14. Brookville trying to claw their way back into this thing. The ball is up. St. Mary's sending it back over to Brookville. Brookville setting it. That is, they said that a player touched it. And let's see, they're going to have the captain come over and ask if that was touched by a player there.
They're going to say no.
They're going to say no.
Okay.
That point belongs to St. Mary's.
YouTube, you can rewind the tape, folks, if you're at home.
And here's the serve. Brookville.
Lindemuth, Northy to Whitling.
Back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back over to Brookville. And back to St. Mary's. St. Mary's wants to set it up. That's long.
That's going to be long by Gordon.
That is a point for Brookville. It's 17-15. And here's the serve.
Nice serve by Northy.
And that's going to be out on St. Mary's. It's going to be a point for Brookville.
It's going to tie it more.
No.
They're on the scoreboard there.
Yeah, I got 17-16 is what they have on the scoreboard.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Northy.
Brookville on the serve.
Bimal.
A little push back over to Brookville. Brookville. Little push. Nice dig by St. Mary's. Brookville. Another nice little push. St. Mary's handles it. Back over. That's in, and that's a point for St. Mary's.
Make it 18-16. St. Mary's up 2 sets to none here. Brookville's got to turn it around here. They want to. It's winner go home.
And here's the serve.
Lindemuth.
Brookville. And play at the net by St. Mary's. That's a point for St. Mary's.
Yep, Caskey at the net again. She's been a beast here in this these 3 sets, Dawn.
19-16.
Whitling to Belfier. Over to Lindemuth.
And there's a point for Brookville. And it's 19-17.
As Lindemuth checks out for senior Gabby West.
And here's a serve by Brookville. That's going to be put over by St. Mary's. And back to St. Mary's. They want to set it up. And that's in. And that's a point for St. Mary's.
That was 16 again. That was Garnotti.
They are definitely playing well on the St. Mary's side. Their
offense and defensively have been playing really well tonight.
20-17 favor of St. Mary's. Brookville wants to set this thing up. Then just wanted to push it.
And that was Caskey again.
21-17, and Brookville wants a timeout.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Mark Bowe. I'm at Devil's Barbecue, and this place is awesome. These folks are nice. We came up here the last time, and we couldn't get enough of it. I saw a sign. I came 10 miles out of the way because we had to have it again. And all I know is we might not show up to work tomorrow because it's that good. See y'all.
Devil's Barbecue, where it's all about the smoke. Brookville, PA.
All right, Dawn, we're back at it. 21-17, the match. Looking to finish this one off against Brookville. I know Brookville had high hopes, and coming into this, I wasn't expecting this.
No,
tonight.
No,
But
you're right.
St. Mary's coming in a well-oiled machine as Lindemuth's going to set that up to Northy.
And
they're going to get the point there.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think this is the first volleyball match I've seen in a long time where Brookville has lost the first 2, and it looks like they're going to lose 3.
Well, it's not done yet.
But it's not done yet,
Yep.
right.
Belfier with the serve.
And over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back to St. Mary's, back to Brookville. Brookville needs to set it up. And another block at the net by St. Mary's. They're doing a heck of a job getting up on that ball. St. Mary's.
And
And
Brookville's going to get a point there.
yeah, that was a miscue by St. Mary's on that one, 21-19. And the ball is up. St. Mary's setting it. That's out. In. Oh, my.
Woo.
Okay, it's 22-19. And here's the serve.
With the serve to Whitling to Guth.
Brookville back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back, little push.
Belfier to Guth. Over to Whitling.
Back over to St. Mary's. And that's going to drop in. Wow.
Man.
23-19. St. Mary's is leading this contest. And the ball is up. Brookville plays it, setting it up.
That is Guth down the line.
And that's a point for Brookville. It's 23-20.
All right, Guth's going to go back with the serve here.
Favor St. Mary's, 23-20. And here's the serve. The ball's up. Back to Brookville. That's
nice there at the net by Samantha Whitling. Make it 23-21.
23-21. Here comes Brookville. The serve, St. Mary's.
Yes.
And that's going to be a point for St. Mary's. It's 24-21.
Van Alstyne again at the net.
And here's the serve.
Guth.
Brookville sending it back over to St. Mary's. St. Mary's back over to Brookville.
Belfier.
And
West.
back over to St. Mary's. Nice dig by St. Mary's. Brookville back long. 25-21.
There's your District 9 2A championship.
Congratulations to St. Mary's on a well-played game there, Billy.
Yep, as like I said, Don, I don't think we were expecting a tip of the hat to the Lady Duchess. Like I said, they were a pretty well machine tonight, Don. And
They definitely look good, yeah.
they look very good, offensive and defensively. Good luck to them. And
congratulations to Brookville on a great season, man. We really enjoyed bringing you all these games here on Blue Nation Network. It was really fun this year, wasn't it?
100%. I mean, we got 100 fun on the hook tonight. Right now, I'd like to thank all our great sponsors. Looking forward to getting into wrestling and basketball and swimming and our winter sports here. Coach Murdoch will have the indoor track going as they're going to get ready for the medal ceremony here. It'll be Brookville as the runner-up, and then St. Mary's as your 2A District 9 championships. Following this game, it's going to be ECC taking on Clarion. And the single A championship, that should be a good one. But I appreciate doing these with you, Dawn. Maybe we'll see what the ladies' basketball brings. And I'm not much of a basketball guy. I'm pretty lot better at running a camera in basketball. I'm more built for the wrestling, Matt. But we'll see what happens. We're getting a couple crews together, but tip of the hat to St. Mary's, and a big congratulations to our Lady Raider volleyball team. As a couple tears down there, it was I know the seniors wanted to bring home a title, but Sometimes it's why they call it sports. So, I appreciate you, Don. I appreciate all our sponsors for doing so. And this is Billy Blake. Thanks for watching and listening to Brookville Raider Volleyball on the Blue Nation Network.
In the heart of Brookville where the rivers flow, there's a voice that's calling, let me tell you so. Blue Nation Network, shining bright and clear, keeping our community close, bringing you cheer.